WNST Sunday afternoon down with the Ravens. Even into overtime, two teams that looked like no one wanted to win the game, and certainly the special team side of things kept the Ravens in the game for a potential. It was a miraculous tie, but it's an infuriating loss in many ways. Luke Jones joins us now live via satellite to discuss all fallout of a 27-24 loss to the Chicago Bears that, quite frankly, Luke, I think you were taking huge odds that I think you were taking numbers on Twitter that it was going to end in a tie because it certainly looked like no one wanted to win, man.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt that way, but, I mean, let's face it. This team was very lucky, fortunate to even be in overtime. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. That was a terrible performance on Sunday. To play that way in front of your home crowd against a team that's 1-4, against a team with a rookie quarterback, a team that you know was going to try to run the football and run the football extensively. And don't get me wrong, a pretty good defense they faced. I anticipated them having some problems, and I didn't expect them to go out there and score 6 touchdowns. But you can't score a single offensive touchdown. I mean, really? I mean, that's so far below the line of what the expectation should be in this town, and quite frankly have been in this town under John Harbaugh, that as much as we looked at last week in Oakland, I fondly called it a stop the bleeding kind of game. Well, as someone noted to me on Twitter when the game was over, they ripped the scab off and they're bleeding profusely again because this offense isn't even functional. They run the ball fairly well. That's about it. And it's just, you saw they needed a Herculean effort from their special teams, certainly with 2 returns for touchdowns. The defense, and we'll get to that. I mean, the defense clearly isn't as good as it needs to be, especially when you consider the resources used on it in the offseason. And they gave up a lot of yards all on the ground, but the defense also at times made some stops. They were able to get some turnovers to put the offense in a position to make a play or to make one, sustain one drive. I mean, look at overtime even.
It was a game of miracle plays. It was not a game of great individual effort of any kind. Maybe you say the Bears ran the ball well if you're on their side of the fence. They ran the ball a lot. I mean, they ran the ball 54 times. But that being said, it really was one of the stranger games with returns and kick returns and guys dropping balls and balls going butterfingers up in the air and getting picked off. Flacco throwing perfect passes that get dropped. And, Trubisky avoids a rush and Weddle misses a tackle, and they wind up losing the football game, which was sitting there for them. I mean, the game was sitting there. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they miraculously got into it and got back in it, and then they had an opportunity, but they weren't good enough. I mean, they didn't deserve to win on Sunday.